Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Endres. Sorry for that quick, that little pause and delay here. But today I'm going to go over the Colonial Williamsburg trip and kind of the details, and so you can see some of the paperwork that's going to be coming home with your students and what's happening. First thing is kind of share my screen with everybody here. There he is. This presentation that I'm going to share with everybody. And this is the trip in a nutshell and what the kids will see, kind of what to expect and all this. We work with Classic Student Tours. We've been with them, as you'll see in another slide, since 1988, but they've been in business since 1985. They've done a tremendous job for us in helping us out with getting kids to see some really neat things that also coordinates with their curriculum in the classroom. First thing is why the change? I've gotten a lot of questions about this. Why are we changing things? Why are we not going to DC anymore? The first thing goes with student safety. The one thing is we were this past trip this fall was very not just difficult, but a lot of things were closed, and we had a lot more stranger interaction in which strangers like come to kids wanting money. Want to talk to them and all these things, and it's just a huge liability being in a bigger city like that. The one thing that kind of led to the change in a way was we visited Mount Vernon, which is a historical site similar to what the kids will see on this trip, and they interacted with history and not with big city life. So it was a big concern. There was a bomb threat. I mean, it was not, I just didn't feel it was a very safe environment for our kids. So that's why we're changing. Like I mentioned, buildings and museums were also limited to trips in the fall. Colonial Williamsburg and some of the areas I'm going to talk about are an area offer more to our 8th grade curriculum as it makes connections to everything they're going to cover in class, while DC was bits and pieces. Chaperones. This is always a question every year. If you'd like to chaperone, staff members here at Bethel and nurses and also other teachers from other school districts kind of get first dibs on things. The second thing is if you do get chosen to be a chaperone, which I will let know in the fall, you have to pass a background check. And the third thing is if you are interested, please email me at this address, and I won't pack chaperones until basically August, but I'll let them know as soon as possible in case they have to take off of work and things. About Class Student Tours, they're registered with the Ohio Department of Commerce. They've been in business since 1985. They customize itineraries for school curriculum like they're doing for us. In each Class Student Tours, they send a person from the company with us to make sure everything goes as smooth as possible. An update letter will be sent 3 weeks departure. I'll give that to the kids in class. When we're going to depart, when we're going to return and finalize things, the name and number of our hotel where we're going to be staying, and the number of chaperones and names of chaperones, and also what to take and how much money to bring. That we'll go over that on another date. To make payments, there's on the number on the paperwork you'll see here that in the slide production, and also you can pay online as well to Classic Student Tours for your payments. Big thing before we go over things, any damage that is done either in the motor coach, hotel, or places we eat and visit is the responsibility of the parents or guardians. We had an incident at a hotel a couple years ago. But anyways, to get to everything, first thing is we'll take off from Bethel Local Schools at a little before 6 a.m. on Wednesday, October 26th, which you'll see in the schedule later. And our first stop is the rest area. Then we will then eat lunch. And then after lunch, we'll then head to the estate of James Monroe, who was our 5th president of the United States of America. James Monroe was also neighbors with Thomas Jefferson in Virginia. So we will be at his estate. Then we'll eat lunch at the Golden Corral. So the kids will get plenty to eat. And then we will then head into Colonial Williamsburg, which is going to be a neat thing. We'll first start with a ghost tour, which is really neat, in which the guides, they do historical parts of historical buildings they'll go to, graveyards like you see in that picture, and tell a story along with it as well. So it's very interesting, very cool. We've done 2 of them in Old Alexandria, Virginia, which was really neat for the kids. Then we'll then check into the hotel. When we check in the hotel, there's one thing down at the bottom here to kind of highlight. First thing is there's no outside entry ever. So when the kids are in their room, they're in their rooms. They cannot go room to room any way, shape, or form. When it's time to go to bed, they go to bed. Security guards then are on. The security guards then go from, floor to floor, and that's so chaperones and myself can sleep. Pay-per-view TV is the only thing is not available. Only thing they can watch is what is on TV. Windows do not open to the outside, and the hotel phone is completely turned off. So the only communication they can have is the kids can definitely have their cell phones with them as well. As you can see, there's no outside entry, but there is guards that are in the hallways. Hotel rules just mentioned is that we stay in our rooms. We do not go anywhere else unless we have a chaperone with us. Regular TV, phones in our rooms are off limits as well. So when the kids wake up in the mornings on Thursday and Friday morning, they'll be eating breakfast at the hotel. They've got a lot of great things for them: eggs, bacon, sausage. They do a nice job providing food for the kids. Then we're going to then head out to a 3-hour study of Colonial Williamsburg. They're going to see the governor's mansion, which is right behind here, the original House of Burgesses that was the first legislative representative body in the New World. They will see that as well. They're going to see carriages, trails, and churches that are about from the 1600s. So they're going to see a lot of really neat things and a lot of connections to George Washington, Thomas Jefferson as well, and a lot of the old Virginia as well. The one thing to add is that our students will be interacting with people portraying citizens in Williamsburg from the time. And in those portrayals, I like them interacting with that, opposed to kind of what we experienced in Washington, D.C. this year. So this is going to be for the historical and their learning as well. Then we will then head to Mazzarno's, if I pronounce that right, for lunch. And then we'll head to not only Jamestown, but Yorktown as well. The Yorktown, there's any pictures of it, but Yorktown is where the British surrendered in 1781 to end the American Revolution. So the kids will see the town. They'll actually see the fort where Cornwallis was stationed and the barracks and things of that nature from the battle. Then we'll then head to Jamestown, which was the first colony and a successful colony in the New World. The kids will be able to see archaeological digs. They're going to be able to go through a replica, as what these are, replica of the actual colony of Jamestown. They'll see where the original part was. They'll be hearing things about Pocahontas and John Smith as well. We will then head to lunch, and then for the nights, we will then go to the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum. Then we'll head back to the hotel. Then once we head back to the hotel, we will then go to bed, all those things, guards on, everybody's in their rooms. Then we'll get up on Friday morning, which is October 28th, and then head over to Monticello, in which the kids will be able to go through and tour Thomas Jefferson's home. They'll see the different clock making, some of the inventions that Jefferson did as well, like basically, if you want to say, the first copy machine, and then be able to tour the grounds of Monticello and also see where Jefferson's family is buried and also himself, where they're buried. Then we'll head down the hill, because Monticello's on top of the hill, and go to William Michie's Roadhouse Tavern. This was a tavern that was built in 1784. William Michie was a colonel for George Washington, and he actually left Valley Forge because his dad was dying. The actor's dad passed. He inherited this land, and then he built this tavern as well. So we'll take a tour of the actual tavern, which was, as you can see, distilleries and things and that nature and how it works, and then also have lunch there, which is going to be really good. So that is our trip. We will then head back to Bethel. That is our trip. What we're going to pack is 2 bags. Our first bag we're going to pack is the suitcase. This is a suitcase the kids will need clothes for Thursday and Friday. Then they'll be able to have a backpack. That backpack can be with them on the bus, that they can carry their books, things of that nature on them as well. Biggest thing is they wear tennis shoes and tennis shoes only, or something with a nice comfortable cushion, because they're going to walk a lot, especially in Williamsburg. They're going to walk a lot of things. If it rains, there's a poncho that they can be able to get to, that they can bring with them from home. You can buy these at Walmart pretty cheap, but it's good to have them with them. On the motor coach, there are no soft drinks, no sodas, no juice, only water, beverages. Snacks are permitted, but there's no external speakers. The only things they can have are their headphones to listen to music. Rates for pricing, which I'll go over here in a second, are based upon the number of people in the motor coach. We have 47 to 44, 40 to 43, 36 to 39, and 32 to 35, which I'll show you the paperwork here in a second. So with that, that is our presentation. The paperwork that you're going to see from the kids that's going to be coming home to you, and also it's going to be on Bethel's social media, is we have the Monticello Colonial Williamsburg permission form that needs to be signed by the parent and also the student and also the parent. So you can see student name, signature, and also parent signature and parent name at the bottom. So you'll see that. So that's the first thing they're going to need. The second thing is, this is the itinerary that I just went over with you to everything the kids are going to do and what time they will be at those. This might be updated as well as time moves on towards the trip. The third thing the kids have is the permission form. The permission, or not just permission form, but also their payment, this kind of reminder. The first payment is due on March 22nd, which is $200, May 10th, which is $250, and then the final cost will be on September the 6th. So we do not know what the final cost will be. Again, it's based upon the numbers, but but what you'll start out with is the first payment, which is due on March 22nd. Then the second one is on May the 10th. So that would be $450 towards the trip. And then by September the 6th, I will then put out how much each student will owe for the remainder balance. So that is that. If you have any questions, here at Bethel or anything of the sort towards the trip, feel free to contact me here. Again, that is the itinerary. That is a little bit snippet of the trip and everything that will be kind of going as we organize this. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Thanks and have a good day. Bye-bye.